Imagine living in a house where the lights suddenly go out. Not for a few hours, but for 2 entire weeks. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Yet that's exactly what astronauts could face if humans ever build a permanent home on the moon. Now here's the surprising part. NASA says the solution isn't bigger solar panels. It's nuclear power. According to a new White House roadmap, reported by Claire Cameron in Scientific American, the United States wants to begin deploying nuclear power systems around the moon as early as 2028, with the long-term goal of supporting a permanent lunar base. But why would anyone want to build a nuclear reactor on the moon? And could this become humanity's biggest step toward living beyond Earth? Let's find out. NASA's dream of returning humans to the moon is no longer just about planting flags. During a recent space policy event, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman described the Artemis II mission as merely the opening act of a much bigger vision, a future where people live and work on the moon for extended periods. The biggest challenge is energy. Unlike Earth, the moon experiences about 14 Earth days of daylight, followed by 14 Earth days of darkness. Imagine trying to power an entire town through 2 weeks without sunlight. Solar panels simply can't provide reliable electricity for that long. That's why the White House has directed NASA, the United States Department of Energy, and the United States Department of Defense to develop compact nuclear reactors capable of generating continuous electricity on the lunar surface. The first systems could produce at least 20 kilowatts of electrical power, enough to support vital equipment, scientific experiments, and future astronauts. This isn't just about keeping the lights on. Reliable nuclear power could allow astronauts to survive the moon's long freezing nights, operate laboratories around the clock, produce oxygen and drinking water from lunar resources, and even manufacture fuel for future space missions. Think of the moon as humanity's first overseas research station. Just as Antarctica helps scientists prepare for some of Earth's harshest environments, a permanent moon base could become the perfect training ground for future missions to Mars. Even more exciting, the technologies developed for these compact reactors could improve advanced nuclear systems, robotics, remote energy generation, and space engineering here on Earth. In other words, solving problems on the moon could one day improve life for millions of people back home. Of course, building a nuclear reactor on the moon isn't without challenges. One major concern is safety. Engineers must ensure the reactor remains secure during launch, landing, and operation in the moon's harsh environment. There are also important international questions about how nuclear technology should be used peacefully in space. NASA also faces technical and financial hurdles. Developing reliable space reactors is incredibly complex, and previous projects have struggled to move beyond the planning stage. Even so, NASA's long-term vision remains ambitious. According to its moon-based planning guide, the agency hopes to establish a continuous human presence on the lunar surface, using the moon as a stepping stone for future missions to Mars. If successful, this could mark the beginning of an entirely new era in human exploration. For decades, the moon has symbolized humanity's greatest achievements in exploration. Today, it represents something even bigger: a possible new home for scientific discovery. America's plan to place nuclear power systems on the moon isn't simply about generating electricity. It's about creating the foundation for long-term human exploration beyond Earth and preparing for journeys that could eventually take us to Mars. The question is no longer whether we can visit the moon. It's whether we can learn to live there. What do you think? Would you feel comfortable knowing that nuclear reactors could one day power a permanent moon base? Or do you think the risks are simply too great? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Innovative Scientific Discovery. Until next time, stay curious and keep discovering.